What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Living in Arizona, and today I'm going to do a tour of my backyard. So, this tour is in the middle of the summer, July 2019. I believe today's July 12th, and it was about 110 degrees today. Hot. Look at my dog, he's panting just from being out here. It's not too bad right now, but I want to show you what a subtropical garden in the Phoenix metropolitan area looks like um, basically during the summertime. What happens to it? Because the polar opposite happens in the wintertime. So you have two challenges growing a garden here in Arizona. Let me just show you some of the stuff that's been going on. So over here, by the way, guys, if you're just tuning in and you like videos like this, please do like the video. That'll help get the video out to more people. So right here, you can see in here is some oregano. Oregano grows good in the summertime. Those are tomatillos. You guys ever drank or ate salsa verde, green tomatoes? You got kale. And then the tomatillo plant is growing all the way over here. So you can see here's a tomato plant, or I'm sorry, bell pepper, still living. I think the key is morning shade right here by the house. That's why it's on the side of the house. And then also this block wall that provides shade during the sunset. So I also have some tomatoes in here. Anytime I want to go grab some cherry tomatoes, I just come out here and I got them. These are actually, I didn't even pick them. They could have been picked. Here's ginger. So this is eggplant. This particular eggplant is called Black Beauty. You can see got a lot of eggplants on here. This does require a lot of water. They're still growing. The flowers are where they come from. Thank you to the two people who liked the video, helping get the video out there. I just put this in yesterday. These hoses, I've got 4 hose bibs. And because this is a big yard, kind of, you need to have, I don't want to have like long hoses, because when my long hoses go, I have to, I run the risk of taking out one of my plants, the hose breaking it. So having these shorter hoses, but I do have a solution. I need to get one of those things that winds that up. And yeah, I'll be able to stow that properly. But right now, I just put that in yesterday. So I had to solder the copper pipe and all that. This is a Plumeria. Plumerias like shade, and they don't like winter, so they're tough to grow in Arizona. This is a mango. Doing pretty good, likes a lot of water. You'll know when the eggplant and the mango need more water because their leaves still start to wilt. Here's a pepper. That's a squash. I've had great success with squashes in the winter, but they don't like the summer heat. This is a papaya. Papayas don't like the winter, but they're doing pretty good in this heat with the shade especially. That's why they're against my wall. Most of my tropicals are against the wall because they don't like extreme heat and they need a little bit of shade. Because remember, tropical forests are shaded. This is a lilikoi, also known as a passion fruit. And I think this is a pomegranate, I forgot. These are vines, Cape honeysuckle over there. This is another vine. I want the vines to crawl up the pergola. Thank you to everyone who's been liking the video. And Michelle, coming back out in 2 weeks from LA. Yeah, you can grow some pretty good stuff in LA, actually. This is a lime tree, palm tree. These trees are great shade trees. This shade tree right here, it's called a Chinese elm. Great shade. This is a Tipuana. This is probably the best shade tree. I mean, remember, this yard in October 2018 was blank dirt. So this is what it looks like from nothing to something. So this garden is still establishing. It's not an established garden yet. And then over here, as you can see, cantaloupe. Oh, looks like the bugs are getting to it. Maybe I should pick those off the ground. See? So, I mean, you live and learn, right? But those cantaloupe probably can't be used because the bugs have already gotten into it. It's a banana. But like I said, this is my first summer in Arizona having this garden. So I'm still learning. I'll show you often. These are called bougainvillea. They're really good in there. Tree. I was told ash trees are great shade trees. Here's a cactus. One of my few cactuses I have out here is aloe vera. This is another plumeria. Plumerias do good as long as you have the shade for it. There's a I think that's called a water lotus. Actually, yesterday, SRP, the water went out, or the power went out, so my fountain wasn't circulating or cycling. So I put some algae killer, or algae and pool cleaner, or spa cleaner, or pond cleaner, sorry. And that's why it's kind of murky still. So I'm trying to clean it up. Yeah, there's fish in there. There's about 8 fish in there. You can't see them right now because it's a little bit dirty. Anyway. Roses do okay here, but not in direct sunlight like that one's getting. This is, these are really good tomatoes. Let me see if I can get a good one. I like eating these. These are pear tomatoes. So the yellow tomatoes taste really good. Strawberry does good if you give it, even in the summertime, strawberries. It's a strawberry plant. You just got to give it shade. Basil, if you smell that, that's real basil. It smells really good. There's another cherry tomato. Like my only palm tree. No, one of a few palm trees now, actually. This plumeria is getting too much sun and it's not doing too good. Chinese elm, oleander, does really good. Grapes, more basil. Basil flowers into a pink or a purple flower. I mean, this lemon tree doesn't look like it's doing too great, does it? Do they grow on regular Arizona soil? No, you have to get like potting soil or cow manure. But yeah, that's a good question. So another lilikoi, passion fruit, not growing any fruit right now. Remember, guys, this is the middle of summer in Phoenix, Arizona. So the garden is going to look anemic. But give it a couple years, water it, take care of it, and this will be a lush oasis if I continue to keep up with it. But it's still maturing. It's less than a year old garden. Grapes, you can eat these. I'll eat some of these. Thank you to the 10 people who like this video. That helps get the video out there. One thing I will say, so I had this idea, feed the birds, you know, get a bird feeder, all that. Well, this is what happens when you feed birds. Oh, my dog's eating something he shouldn't. They just poop everywhere. So I don't know if feeding birds is necessarily a good idea. This is my spa. I just was in there tonight. And it's pretty easy to maintain a spa, I think. You know, you got to keep chlorine in there. This is one of my favorite areas to hang out, actually. If I could do my whole yard like this, I'd be happy, but it's expensive. So, this is a mesquite tree. This is a Chilean mesquite. So, you know, you just sit here, have your coffee, drink your wine at night. You got the beautiful sunset, and then you can hop in the pool. You know, it's like you could create your own environment out here. Feed the fish with the so you can just feed those fish. Let's see if they come up. All right, so another Chinese elm. You can see I like these Chinese elms because they will create shade. This is a cherry tree. That's another guava or guava. These trees do pretty good, but they don't create a lot of shade. They're called acacia. Here's another garden that's barely hanging on. You can see I got some chili peppers on here. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, you can join our new group, Phoenix Metro. So we still have Living in Arizona, but we added a group for specifically Phoenix. It's called Phoenix Metro. I'll put a link below so you guys can join that if you want. But, you know, the whole idea is to be able to share tips and advice about everything from gardening to things to do around Phoenix. You know, and who knows? I mean, you come together with enough consensus, you can use social media to lobby lawmakers to get something that you may be thinking you could use out in Phoenix, you know, or in Arizona. Here's Plumeria. These smell really good, but again, it's getting a lot of direct sunlight. So I planted it next to this to block the sunlight, but I need this tree to create a little bit more shade for this. So 1 to 2 years, big tree, shaded, beautiful Plumeria. Garlic, onion, celery, carrots. You like carrots? Let's see. It's lots of carrots in there. I'll probably come back and eat those. But I don't know if they like the heat. This apple tree. Apple tree probably needs more water. I don't know if, I think apple trees like a little bit of shade, but just a couple of apples growing on there. They're called the Pink Lady. I need this Tipuana Tipu to really take off. You know, my water bill last month was, I think, $40 to water, you know. So one thing that I will say that kind of has been high this month in particular, higher than any other month, is my power bill in July is on pace to be $240. So $240 power bill, it's usually $150. So July has been really hot. And I keep my air conditioner at about 70 degrees because I do a lot of work from home and I need to be comfortable to think. If I'm sweating bullets at my desk, that's not good to think. Another passion fruit, lilikoi. See, when you get these areas where you have side of the house for evening shade and a neighbor's house for morning shade, plant plants or pepper plants that look just like that. Yeah, RW, it is pretty beautiful scenery out here tonight. Oh, my dog's eating the carrots. Can I blame him? Nope. So, guava right here. Lots of guava, but as it's gotten to 110 degrees, I don't know if it likes it too much. Some lemons. You can see the area that's getting sun is getting burned, and the area that's not is doing good. So shade. If you're looking to grow up, you get a shade tree or a bunch of shade trees. I personally have had to buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 shade trees. So it can get expensive. I mean, a shade tree is about $150. That doesn't include the little trees because citrus can't really be a shade tree. But $150 a tree, and then if you do it yourself, you can save money. But if you hire a professional to dig the hole, because the hole has got to be huge, we're talking a 25-gallon bucket, and Arizona dirt is soft until you get like 2 or 3 inches into it, and then it turns to like caliche. But if you do it yourself, you could save a lot of money. So go ahead and ask some questions, and let's see if I can find the super chat. Backyard, says Michelle. Yes, I had some you know, I had like people who know how to build things around me. You know, I would say, what do you think about a bar right here? And then we would talk about it, and we'd say, yeah, you know, like I want to be able to stand right here. And then what about a sink, you know? Or like, can you put my barbecue here? And I want to be able to look out at the pond when I'm grilling, or, you know, stuff like that. It's good to have people around you to bounce ideas back and forth off. But a lot of it came by me just sitting at this chair and thinking as I was watching each project develop, just sitting here saying, what do I want over here? Then I get the idea to put a tree here because in the morning, you know, the sun rises over here. So I was like, how could I sit here if I got the direct sun beating down on me? So I needed a shade tree. And then over here, I had the same problem with the evening sun that sets over there. So, have you thought about putting in a pool? Austin said, yes, I did. Pools are great. I'm at 77 and I get the chills once in a while. Wow, where are you, Blake? The misters are going good. Actually, that was why I put, there's the fish. You can see them. That's why I put in that hose bib also, is to run that line all the way to here. Because here's the misters connector. Goes right here, so you can actually use this area. I had to get that mesh for the roof. I mean, shade out here, I'm being limited by the HOA, what I can really do. If I didn't have an HOA, I would be doing a lot more shade back here. This whole area would be really shaded. The only way I can get shade back here is with the trees because of the HOA. But this hose bib right here, around the edges of the umbrella, that way it's, because at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you don't want to sit under that umbrella alone. You need a little bit of a cooling factor. And so I guess you would call it evaporative cooling or a mister system. What do the HOA not want you to do? So each one of these houses you see here, they're potentially offended by something one of their neighbors puts in their backyard. So if you have like this pink thing standing up in the middle of your yard, it could potentially offend one of 10 of these people. And so they have the HOA has this list of things you can and cannot do. And basically, if you put shade back here, it has to be open air. So you have to have an open roof so that, say there was a monsoon or something, if you have a closed roof and the wind comes through and takes out the roof, you know, where's that roof going to go? Is it going to go into your neighbor's house and take out a window, or, you know, because we do get storms out here like that. So, well, 15 people have liked the video, so thank you. And let's see. So here I am in front of my pool. Just a regular day. I already swam under there, so I'm just chilling out. Had a cup of coffee, and I'm gonna work tonight. I have a couple jobs. Some of you guys ask what I do for work, but I have a couple different jobs. I don't just do one thing, and because I'd probably need more hobbies, but I guess my hobbies are my work. Like, I enjoy things that I'm working on. Even working on my backyard, which is, some people would call it a hobby, some would call gardening a chore, some would call it just hire a landscaper. Shout out from Surprise. Surprise, how's it going? Yeah, so Surprise, I don't know how growing a garden in Surprise would be, but out here in this area, 50 years ago was all farms. So that tells you that out in Queen Creek, things do grow pretty good out here. But yeah, so shout out from Surprise 16. That should be your next video, HOA do's and don'ts. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about HOAs, I'd imagine they're probably the same. The downside to an HOA, for example, is you have limitations on what you can do to customize your house. You also have to pay them every month, and they just keep coming. It's like there's always a bill from the HOA, and if you even miss it by one day or so, I don't know, they have like a weird billing period. It's not on the 1st, it's on like the 22nd. You know how most of your bills, like your mortgage and all these other bills, are due on the 1st? Makes it easy, but my HOA is like on the 22nd or something, so I just feel like the HOA has not been that great. Although I guess if I'm a complainer and I don't want someone to put a big pink balloon house over there in my in my view of the desert, or my view of the sunset, I could complain to them and say, hey, tell that guy with the pink bounce house to take that down. So I mean, they're useful in that way. What's another positive about the HOA? Maybe some of you guys can tell me. $2,400 a year? Oh, $1,400 a year for Sun City. $2,400 a year for HOA in Sun City is what Still Breathing 37 said. So, I mean, do you want to pay $2,700 to someone so that they can tell your neighbors what to do and you what to do? You have to pay them for that service. So, but the thing is, most of these homes out here, these new homes, they all come with an HOA. So it's like the HOA is smart. They're kind of like a racket. They kind of got like, well, everyone wants an HOA. So they don't have, so most of these new homes, they, unless it's a really cheap house, they have an HOA. I've heard someone got fined $1,000 by the HOA for leaving their trash cans in front of their house. So they give you one warning to not leave your trash cans outside the front of your house. Today was trash day here, Friday. That reminds me, today's Friday. I need to go out there and grab my trash bins. Because if I leave it out there for tomorrow, I could run the risk of someone from the HOA coming by here and slapping a fine on me. You should get with your brother who does real estate and make videos of real estate property in the Phoenix area. He should be, I told him, I said, you should take more pictures of the real estate that you go see. Like when you're out at a house, go take a picture of it. You know, I don't know why he doesn't do that more. I've told him, I mean, I could go out there and do it with him too. I've told him, we've gone to do things. I just don't know if I want to personally go out to all these houses. I got other things to do. But I mean, I think he could do it for sure. And I should probably join him on a couple of houses. Oh yeah, they address noise, but I mean, every house has a different noise producer. Some have dogs that bark. I'm not going to complain about a barking dog because I have a dog and he sometimes barks. I don't have really a choice on that. Some have kids. I don't have kids here, but kids can be yelling. But I was a kid once. I'm not going to complain about kids who are having fun in their own backyard. But you can see there's a lot of neighbors. Half of them at least have kids all around me. So that's a noise producer. Some of them have weed whackers. So, I mean, there's the noise pollution. We haven't had anyone have like a raging party yet. Maybe I did. I had a big party, but well, my family's big, so they came over to my house, but I don't think we were producing too much noise. But noise happens. I don't know how they really enforce noise pollution laws. That's a good question, though. Oh, let me see. Some other questions came in. Is there a retirement community very quiet here, 45 and up, no kids allowed? Oh, Still Breathing says they are in a retirement community out in Sun City West, 50 years old and older. If I said that right, let me see. I saw the comment. 45 and up. Yeah, there's a retirement community, really nice golf course, but you can't golf there. You can't go inside the gate unless you're a resident or a member of Encantera. But it's like this master plan, like resort community. Me personally, I actually thought about if I was to have like a second house. So the way I've figured it out is I'd want to have two houses in two different areas. One, that's it. You know, that's if the convenience is available. I would want to have, or like to have, a piece of property, a place that has like a 2 or 3 acres to, you know, work with the land, right? Develop the land with a nice sized house, maybe 2,500 square feet, 3,000 square feet. And then also maybe be a part of a resort community as a second house, you know, where you can, resort communities have a lot of amenities. They have, you know, pub pools and golf courses and fine dining, but it's, you know, people who are a part of the membership. So, you know, they're people who are just like you, I would think. Is it Trilogy? Michelle says Trilogy. I think Trilogy's in Queen Creek. So yeah. Linda G says Still Breathing. So Still Breathing is the one who was asking the question. Are there scorpions out here? No. Someone told me today, they said that they were really scared of snakes. And I have yet to see a scorpion and I've yet to see a snake here at this house. Now it's a new house, so it is possible. But no, I have not seen any scorpions. The worst that I've seen is ants. Like here's an ant hill right here. They're trying to okay, they said, do you see scorpions? So some of you guys are trying to figure out what's the deal with these scorpions. No, the ants didn't get me. The the Wi-Fi got me. Wi-Fi. See, my Wi-Fi is in there, and out here is only so much range. Oh, is it still lagging, Blake? If you guys can hear me, like the video. Cheap way to get a like, right? So how hot did it get today? I think it got 110. It was overcast though, so it was like, is a deceptive day, meaning that like it was really hot, but it was overcast. So you would think, oh, hey, it's overcast, that's great. And then you go out there and you're like, whoa. So it's like you get a break from the sun, but it's still hot. And it's pretty painful. It catches you out of nowhere. It's like a sneaker heat. You'll be outside for 10 minutes and all of a sudden you'll be like, whoa, this is hot. But it's overcast. Oh yeah. So I was living in Hawaii before I had this house, and I used to, because Hawaii is so expensive, you know, some of you guys come from expensive places. I had a small 2-bedroom apartment and I was paying $1,600 a month. And I was like, I can't touch anything here. I can't grow plants. I can't put a hole in the wall if I want to drill like a you know, something for a drawer or something. If I want to build anything, I can't do that in an apartment. So I was like, okay, Hawaii's great. I lived here for 3 years. I'm going to move back to Arizona where I know I can get a house for the exact same price and actually have a mortgage. So even though I lived in some pretty cool places like California or San Diego and Kona and Maui, having a home base here makes the most sense for me. But I got to be able to travel because that's just the type of person I am. I like to be on the road. Thanks, man. Colf 2A gave me $4.99. Thank you for a Wi-Fi. That's nice. You didn't have to do that, but that's really cool of you. Thank you. I don't know how you did that. Is that super chat? Okay, so, oh, when I was doing the hose bibs, I was using PVC glue, and the primer spilled. I left it overnight over here, and it spilled onto my table. Now I got to figure out how to fix this. It's like a big blotch. So anyways, guys, do you guys want me to keep going, or should I end the video here? I mean, if you guys have any questions, now's a good time to ask while we're live. And if you want me to keep going, smash up the likes. If I get more likes and the video keeps going out, then I'll keep doing it. Thank you, Linda G. So keep going. Okay, Austin says keep going. Boy says keep going. All right, so one of the things that I was thinking about making a video about here recently is the interesting projects they have going on around Phoenix. You know, they're building Wolf Lodge. They're building, yeah, share this video in the Living in Arizona group if you guys want. You can share it if you want. I don't know where. But let's see here. But yeah, they're building that Wolf Lodge indoor water park. They're building Dreamport Village plans. They have the plans for it, but they haven't moved forward with it. We haven't heard anything about it since February, so they're probably trying to secure more funding. But in these suburbs like Queen Creek, they've just announced 2 new amusement parks, 1 trampoline park and 1 other amusement park. So Queen Creek, within a span of 1 week, announced that they were doing 2 new recreational facilities out here. I think it's going to have bowling. I think it's called Fat Cats out in Queen Creek. It's actually really close to my house. I was like, yes, score. And then I found out that on the corner they're building you know, one of those commercial centers on the corner over there and the corner over here. So this area was maybe 2 years ago, all fields. Now they're just they've built all these houses all within the span of a year. These are all brand new houses as of a year. So 365 days ago, this was a dirt lot. All this. and including the place they're building the commercial center, which is things to do, jobs for the community, because jobs are a big thing. And then also on the corner right over there, they're building another commercial center. So I think that's good because, you know, people need jobs, and the fries over here was getting overly packed. Like they were bringing, like I said, they brought in like, they're still bringing in 10 new U-Hauls, even in the summertime, 10 new U-Hauls a week of families moving here to Queen Creek. And this is actually Santan Valley, Queen Creek. It's like right on the border. Like Queen Creek will probably end up swallowing up this whole area because they'll annex it. But right now it's considered Santan Valley, but there's no incorporation in Santan Valley. The problem with San City line is the Pinal County, Maricopa County border. So I'm like, so right there at the border, can they have the same city but different counties? So can Queen Creek be in two different counties? That's the question, and I think that's what they're holding up on as far as the incorporation of the town. So we got some questions. How far is the drive to the airport from where you are? I am an hour and a half away from Sky Harbor, maybe an hour away from Sky Harbor, downtown Phoenix, and probably 30 minutes away from Phoenix Mesa Gateway. But Phoenix Mesa Gateway doesn't fly to many places. It only goes to a couple places like small airports. Like you can't go to LAX from Mesa Gateway, but you can go to like Boise. So that's kind of interesting. Thank you, Michelle, for all the questions, by the way. Linda G says Buckeye these days. Yeah, Buckeye is booming. Corey says, what's Anthem like? Is it safe and nice? I think Anthem is safe and nice. Yeah. Totally opposite side of town, but I think it's safe and nice. Any info on Florence? So Florence is that way from my house, and I haven't really been out to Florence lately. Growing up, we used to go out to Florence, and the only thing there was out in Florence was the state penitentiary. So there's a prison out in Florence. That's all I knew Florence for. But now, because it's up against the mountains, it's becoming a beautiful place. But keep in mind, you're right next to the penitentiary when you're in Florence, but the homes are cheaper. It's like, I'm not even going to call it a poor man's Queen Creek or Santan Valley because it's beautiful out there and the quality of the homes is good. It's just, what I'm saying is it's close to the penitentiary and cheaper, and it's farther away from everything. But I'd say I wouldn't live out there, but it's beautiful. If you don't mind the drive, it could be pretty good for you. I mean, I definitely think it's a beautiful area. Is burning wood a common thing in Arizona? Does anyone complain about this smell? Okay, yeah, the HOA and the burning wood. Well, right here I used to have an outdoor fire pit that would burn wood. Now I have this, which is like an oven that I can do wood. I haven't used it yet. It's supposed to be like a pizza oven, but I've gone away from the whole wood burning thing because of that to a cleaner burning source, and that's what this is. So this is a natural gas fire pit. So if you're worried about that, you can get a propane fire pit or a natural gas fire pit. But I know that they had smoke ordinances during Christmas. So many people were wanting to use their smoker or their chimney, and they actually issued a no smoke. But people were still burning wood, and the whole air, like it almost was like you smoke like 3 cigarettes in one day, or 3 packs of cigarettes in one day. So many people burning wood in the winter time, especially, it's not good for the environment. Thanks for the info on Anthem. That's where we're looking at. That's good, Robert. You'll like Anthem. My grandparents live in Anthem, and I ask them if they want to move down here, and they always say no, but I think it's because they're old and they don't want to move. But they live up in Anthem. But they have problems with HOA. Any HOA problems using a smoker for cooking? No. My neighbor over here was using his smoker, this guy, and I thought he was having a damn fire. I actually was out here cleaning my spa, and he was smoking something on a Saturday, and I was like, dude, that smells like that fire was like a 5-alarm fire in a smoker. Maybe I'm exaggerating, of course, but I literally took my dog and I walked all the way around to go knock on his door. And I was like, dude, I need your phone number just in case. That way I don't have to walk over here in case your smoker catches your house on fire. So, I mean, all it takes is some hot shot with the smoker, put a bunch of wood in there, and next thing you know, go in the house and drink a beer, and who knows what kind of fires could start. So, fire hazards like that. 32 people, 27 likes. Thank you to everyone who's liked this video. It is all I ask of you, because that helps get these videos out there. Oh, look at my dog. Hey, no barking. No barking. That dog's name is Larry Berto. At least he listens. I found that if your dog barks, get a hose, because he'll learn real quick that if he barks, he gets the hose. Which I don't understand why he doesn't like water, because it's so hot out here. I'm like, I love water. Maybe he just likes water on his own terms, but I've never really taken him to the river. I used to take my other dog to the ocean, and he swam like he was a water dog. So anyways, if you guys have any other questions, or should I keep going? Hey, no barking. Hey. Sit. It's my neighbors, they're over there with their kids and their dogs. And all he does wants to play. That's what, when he barks, hey, he's literally just saying, hey, I want to come over, I want to come over. But he can't. Give Larry another carrot. Larry! You hungry? Hello? That's my neighbor saying hi to me. She can hear me. Hello? How are you? Over here. I'm doing a live stream. It's okay. No, it's okay.
Rambo.
Say hi, you're on TV. Wow, 35 likes. All right, I'll keep going. So keep asking questions. Let's see here. My dogs love carrots. I didn't know my dog likes carrots. I actually don't like feeding my dog a lot of the vegetables, because if he likes them, then he'll start eating them. And then I'll never be able to have any, because he did that already with a lot of tomatoes and pomegranates. So I have these pomegranates over here. You can see, well, it's kind of dark over here now, but those are pomegranates, like this little guy right here. These are called mini pomegranates, dwarfs. 35 and 35. Is Bill Gates still going to build that smart city? Again, yeah, that's a good question. That it's like they have all these plans for these big projects. Like Gilbert's building a brand new mega resort called the Strand out in Gilbert. Gilbert actually doesn't have many resorts or hotels. So the fact that Gilbert's going to this extreme to build this big old resort is kind of amazing, but again, it's been in the works for a while. So they have these projects that are in the works. So many people moving here, but the reason they can't get going as fast as they want to, so much red tape. Our government has like set up things done just kind of like with the HOA. It's like you can only you have restrictions what you can do with your backyard at your own house. When you're trying to build these massive projects, you've got to go through all this red tape, and it slows down a lot of the projects. So funding, so having the idea, then you got to get the funding, then you got to get the approvals, the contracts, the building permits, and that stuff takes time. So Bill Gates' smart city should still be in the works, but I'd imagine they've probably have to clear some of this red tape out of the way that legislators have put in place, just because it's like sometimes complaining can create more problems than what it's really worth, is what I'm saying. With, you complain to your legislator, we think it's a good idea, then we find out, oh, wow, that was creating more red tape for progress in our community. my political route for the afternoon. Do you socialize with any of your neighbors? Yeah, I socialize. They came over to my party. They invite me to their parties. That's my next door neighbor. They, you know, they're pretty cool. And then, like I said, I talked to this neighbor. I talked to that neighbor. All my neighbors, I've talked to them. They're pretty cool. They're a family, but they're out of town a lot. And then a couple of neighbors, one neighbor this way, two neighbors that way that I talk to. You know, I do. We like do neighborly things. It's like, hey, my cat got out. Can you go check on my cat? Or hey, can you fly your drone over my house? I'm building a pool. You know, just stuff like that. This is neighborly stuff. People associate like that. Haven't really like had like a neighborhood block party like yet. I'm not saying we will, or I'm not saying we won't. Is your patio cover open air, or do you have a roof? That is a mesh roof. So it is open air, but it's got that mesh roof. And that just provides a little bit of protection. But good question, Robert. It's a good community. I mean, people come from all over around here. A lot of people from California. So one of my neighbors from Seattle, another one from Hawaii, believe it or not. Some from Florida, but Texas. So people from all over around here. Like that's where all my neighbors come from. Texas, California, Florida, Washington. and then just some people who just relocated out to Santan Valley that already lived in Phoenix. But most of these people, if you listen to their story, they're usually like, why'd you move out here? And they said mostly the reason they move out here is because of the housing. So the affordable option to own a home, a nice brand new home without, you know, breaking the bank. And they all pretty much say that was what drew them out here, was the pricing. But once they live out here and they realize because it's such a new community, there still isn't a lot of stuff to do. You know, theme parks, it's far away from the airport, it's far away from the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals. So yes, you get a cheaper house, but you have to wait a little bit for the development to come. But by the time the development comes, the good price goes away. So it's like, what do you want? The amenities of being close to a big city, or do you want to really figure out what is important to you? So we've been going now for 44 minutes. We have 36 likes. Should I keep going? If you're new to the chat and you haven't already liked the video and you want me to keep going, ask a question or like the video, and that would be good, because then I'll know that's the signal. Keep going. Or, I mean, how am I supposed to communicate with you guys? I'm not telepathic, so I don't know. Should I keep going or should I stop? But likes and comments definitely are the signal. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, C&J Maine. All right, so looks like you guys are rogering out. So next time we tune in, if you haven't already joined us on Living in Arizona and the group Phoenix Metro, you can check us out in those groups, ask questions, that's what they're there for, post pictures, share stories, do whatever, ask me a question. I try to answer them, but we'll see. So see you later, Ted, Michelle, Peter, and adios.